problem with the stream.
No, but they might be knocking the stream off because they stream a video from Verizon. And that's going to take priority.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. Can we tell them something now?
No, I don't want to do it. Let's see if it'll go.
I can put my video on it. That'll advertise their ass for half hour.
Because it's freezing.
They probably taking bandwidth over. I guess. Good call.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. It looks like I'm using up a lot of CPU here at this moment. Hopefully I can get this squared away. Hang on for 1 second here. And let me cut this. Hopefully it'll come up here in just a second. I am not at home with my normal set, so forgive me. And hopefully that should take care of it. We're still at 95%. All right, can you guys see me yet? See if we're coming along. Nothing showing black screen. You should be getting it right now because we're up to perfect streaming. Just give it 1 second. There we go. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Tonight in the studio, well, we're actually not in the studio. We're actually on vacation with, I will actually say, the person that led to Jobu being here, my best buddy, Richard Chisholm. Richard, how are you doing tonight, man?
Doing all right, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm feeling nice here. We're actually on a little couples trip. You know, they always say happy wife, happy life. I say it's like finding a unicorn, but hopefully they didn't hear me upstairs. They're all upstairs watching TV and stuff. Richard is a diehard Steeler fan.
Yes, absolutely. Born and raised in Central Pennsylvania.
But before I get to my Cowboys, I want to ask Richard. Richard, how do you feel about everything that's going on with your Steelers?
I mean, you know, the big thing for me is the Kardashians is out of town. That's what I call them. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. I consider them the Kardashians. And look, I mean, they were great players. They are great players. Hopefully, you know, I wish them the best of luck. But at the end of the day, with this situation, I'm hoping that it's going to be addition by subtraction for Pittsburgh. Just too many distractions and things of that nature going on. So hopefully this situation will get the team to be more together.
Do you think it will hurt the team or help the team as far as attracting other players? Because they'll look and say, you know what, they ain't paying you.
Well, that remains to be seen. I don't know. Hopefully the Steelers will learn from this. Listen, I understand the Steelers have their model and how they like to do contracts and things of that nature. And I'm not necessarily saying that those guys were wrong in wanting, to get more guaranteed money and things of that nature in their contracts. I don't like how they really went about it, but I do understand what their issue was. And, you know, certainly we're getting in an era of football right now where teams are beginning to pay some of that more guaranteed money for their superstars. And I believe the Steelers are going to have to change the way they do business at some point if they plan to keep some of these guys, because there's going to be a problem. I do believe that could be a problem if they don't change that at some point. So they're not going to be able to continue to do things the way they used to.
Well, Victor, to answer your question, the ladies are actually upstairs basically Netflixing to death, which is part of the reason why we had a problem with the stream, because they're using up all the bandwidth and things. But we're all, believe me, we've been having a great time, man. My keto diet has actually just kind of gone out the window. I know I'm going to come back about 10 pounds heavier and stuff, but, you know, you work hard, you need to play hard too. So with your Steelers, are you buying the hype of the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, no. I mean, how many times have we seen this happen?
Every year with the Redskins, right, actually.
Listen, sure, they made some great pickups. I'm not saying the players they acquired are not good players, but we've seen this before. We've seen teams win free agency. But at the end of the day, you still have to get these guys on the field playing together as a unit and winning football games. Now, look, Cleveland looked pretty good at points last year. They certainly seem like a good team, but we're still talking about a team that has a new head coach, entirely new coaching staff. So there's going to be a lot of new things being incorporated into this situation.
Takes time to kind of meld all those new pieces together.
Correct.
The Cowboys, we learned about that last year when we had just a bunch of guys for wide receivers, brought them in, and I figured, oh, well, we can just throw some guys out there and it's going to work.
Right.
But it takes time to get better. And you usually notice a team that has a lot of young guys playing,
Yes.
that the younger players start playing as the season gets on and start kind of melding and getting their way.
Yes, yes.
So speaking of my Cowboys, the Cowboys basically have been playing the whole negotiations with DeMarcus Lawrence in the media. And basically, Stephen Jones says he wants to get this deal done, but the whole thing kind of hinges on DeMarcus Lawrence getting surgery on his shoulder. So we got a game of chicken going on right in Dallas. The question is, who do you think is going to blink?
That's tough to say, man. I don't know, but I'm hoping that DeMarcus comes in and signs his contract, man, and the Cowboys can move on to other things they need to be worried about. But I don't know how this is going to play out. It's really hard to predict.
But, you know, and I tell you what, DeMarcus Lawrence has actually gotten a bad rap now because now, of course, the fans are saying, well, you know, he's not a team player. You know, $20 million's not enough, but he wants 22. And, you know, I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, if you can't make it with $20 million a year, that's extra 2.5. Is it really worth that much? I mean, how much is enough?
Right, right. I mean, you know, of course, we had this similar kind of drama surrounding us with the Le'Veon Bell situation, the franchise tag, the whole thing about him averaging this number of million per year and that number of million per year. For him, it was wrapped up in the guaranteed money.
Right.
I'm not familiar with DeMarcus's contract terms or what
the Cowboys were actually talking to him, or talking to his agent at the Combine, and they had gotten a $20 million number is what they thought was going to work.
Right.
And it seems like David Cantor, I think it's Cantor, is his agent, has basically kind of upped it up another $2.5 million.
Right.
And so now the Cowboys are like, you know, yo, we thought we had a deal, and now you're trying to get a little bit more and stuff.
So this isn't about guaranteed money.
We don't know what the guaranteed money that he's looking for is.
And see, there's the caveat there because this could be something similar to the fight that Le'Veon Bell was having, where sure the contract numbers on a per year basis looked good to everybody else, but when the details came out of the guaranteed money, it wasn't where Le'Veon wanted it. And these guys want, you know, they want as much guaranteed money as they can get.
You know, I feel for him. I mean, because to me, you know, when I think about DeMarcus Lawrence, the problem with him is it's a torn labrum. Right. And if you guys don't know what a torn labrum is, basically you've got your ball socket that's in here, and the joint itself that goes into it, the cartilage, it's like a fibery cartilage that keeps it in place. You get tears on it. And so they have to go into it, just kind of smooth it out, and it needs time to kind of heal, which is, say, 3 to 4 months. And if you don't get it done, it'll lock sometimes. It'll be painful. You don't have a full range of motion. So he needs to get it done. He's been playing with it like this for 2 years, and it's advantageous to get it done now so he's ready to go in training camp. Because I look at a lot of players that have gone through and held out. I mean, like Earl Thomas held out, didn't really do training camp and everything. He comes in a couple weeks later, he gets hurt. Des Bryant didn't get signed until the middle of the season. First week, boom, ruptures his Achilles tendon.
Yes.
You want these guys working out all off season, trying to get their bodies ready for that grind that is. So it's important both ways. So I'm just wondering who's going to blink on that situation.
It's going to be interesting to watch and see. It's hard to say.
Now, I got to tell you, I don't know how Steeler fans are other than you, okay? Because I know you're passionate, because I tell you what, you know, I would say, Richard, come on over to the house and stuff, but it's like, Richard, on game day, you just want to stay away from him. He's that passionate of a fan. I mean, he's like, you know, he hasn't thrown anything through the TV yet, okay? But one of these times, I believe his wife, Felicia, called, that man done lost his mind. He done thrown some shit into the TV and broke the motherfucker. Oh, excuse my language. But he's that passionate about the game. Cowboy fans, as my buddy Vosh would say, and this is another one of my buddies, you know, this is old school here, all right? You know, I don't have the green screen like Michael Anthony and everything else. Everything you always see is real. We're a bunch of old talking heads, so we're a different flavor than everybody else, but I've got some ones that have old school knowledge of football. 80% of Dallas Cowboy fans, if they ran the team, we wouldn't have any players. Because literally, get rid of Tyron Smith because he's always injured. Zeke Elliott, he's in trouble, man. Get rid of that guy. Dak Prescott, he's a 4th-round quarterback. Get rid of him. He's a bum. Jason Witten's too old. Zach Martin wants too much money. I mean, you could go down the list, and almost every single player, they say get rid of him. He's a bum. And it's kind of like, well, who are you bringing in?
Yes.
Are Steeler fans like that?
Absolutely. Yes, they are. Believe it or not, they are. You don't know how many times I hear or see online and in chat groups and things of that nature. Steeler fans, they call for Mike Tomlin's head frequently. Some of them call for Ben Roethlisberger head sometimes for football-related things, sometimes for non-football-related things. As we know, Ben has had some trouble in his past before.
Yeah.
Steeler fans are as fickle probably as any other team's fans are. You just got a lot of armchair general managers that think that they can put the team better.
You know what? And you know what? I'm one of them too. I mean, I try and at least step back and at least try and look at things. And I'm the glass half full. I'm not only the glass half full, I'm thankful that I got a glass to begin with. Okay, guy. Chaz Jewell, thank you very much for the super chat. I'll make sure. Oh, yeah, the shirts. If Miss Jackie, can you do me a favor? Anybody who wants to get their name put on the shirt, can you make a list for me? Because I don't actually have a pin here other than a marker and stuff. And that way I can put everybody's name on there. Sunday, and guys, don't forget, Sunday we're actually going to be at the CSA show. We're going to be actually giving Dak Prescott this shirt. And go to Dak Prescott's Stand Up to Cancer site on Facebook. If you guys go ahead and do a donation to it, let me know that you did, and I can see your picture and profile on it. I'm going to get a shirt autographed by Dak, and right now, I think there's 10 people who've gone through that are affiliated with the show. We're going to do a drawing for that shirt because it's for a good thing to stamp out cancer. All right, so I'm going to ask you, because you are outside of the Cowboys. I'm too close to the Cowboys. I'm always going to think that everything's going to be good with the Cowboys.
Sure.
When you look at the Cowboys, what they've done in free agency, what kind of grade would you give them? Now, we've got in 2 defensive linemen. We brought in George Iloka as a safety who doesn't have a whole lot of interceptions, of course. We just got Quinn. And Cowboy fans, this is what I find funny, is Cowboy fans are saying Quinn is washed up. He's a bum. Yet he would have been second on our team in sacks last season.
Right.
Of course, we got Jason Witten, who's old as dirt. I mean, he's like almost as old as I am. The only place, and of course Randall Cobb, the only place we really didn't address that the Cowboys said that they want to address is running back. So how would you grade the Dallas Cowboys on what they've done?
I mean, I guess I'd probably give them something like a B minus. I go B minus. Mm-hmm. I like Quinn. I think it was a good pickup. I think it's going to pay off. The guy's a good football player.
It will definitely pay off.
And it may serve a purpose and help motivating getting DeMarcus, and hopefully.
But, here's the thing that you have to look at least for the Cowboys' perspective, is they're learning what New England does right.
Yes.
What New England does right is they don't mind letting the guy go. Because here's where this thing is actually great. The Cowboys gave up a 6th-round pick in 2020. If Quinn plays great, because people are like, you should sign him for a longer term. No, you don't. You don't want to sign him for a longer term. Because here's what happens. You sign him for 2 years and he's a bum the first year, well, you're still stuck with that salary.
Absolutely.
Hence the Washington Redskins every time they sign somebody in free agency. My Redskin man over here is just kind of nodding his head. By putting him on a 1-year deal, if he plays lights out and you decide you want to keep him, great, then, you got him. But if he walks after playing really, really well, you'll get a compensatory pick back that'll be higher than that 6 that you ended up giving away.
It was a risk-free acquisition. They got a guy that can play, and you're right. Exactly what you said. It could pay off big time. If it doesn't, you really didn't lose much.
Yeah. DT, thank you very much. If Miss Jackie can write DT down, is that your actual name, DT? DT? Or is that just an alias? And the same thing with Randall Cobb. And this is, New England does this with guys. They always bring guys in that seem to have like a down year, and it's kind of like, here's your opportunity to resurrect your career and go get paid elsewhere because we're going to make you look good. Because I don't need, them to do outstanding. If they just do reasonably well with DeMarcus Lawrence on one side, with Antoine Woods and Collins and Tyrone Crawford there in the middle, you put him out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell of a pass rush. That's
Randall
Steeler-esque.
Randall Cobb can stay healthy. That dude is a very dangerous player.
And the thing
and with Amari Cooper on board, that could be a very nice dynamic for the Cowboys offense.
And see, the problem for the Cowboys has been either the offense has been really good and the defense has been shit, or vice versa. Last year, the defense was a lot better. The offense was crap the first half of the season. If the Cowboys can keep both of those two in the top 10, it would be freaking
You guys have arguably the strongest linebacker core in the league. Y'all got a really strong linebacker core.
We lucked the hell out getting Van Der Esch.
Yeah.
Oh my God! In that first game that he played, I don't know how much you watched the Cowboys. First game he played, we had Cowboy fans that are saying he's a bust already because he looked a little bit lost.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it was like that light switch went on, and he is an absolute beast.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping to see him on Sunday. He'll be at the Sissay show with Jalen Smith. That's going to be a hell of a
You actually
combination.
sniped him from Pittsburgh in the draft. That was one of Pittsburgh's targets, so that was a nice move there.
Man, I can't wait for the season to get here, man. Oh my God, I can't wait. It's just like, I know it's only like 160 days away, but it's still way, way too far away.
Yeah, personally, I'm still excited about the draft coming up right now. That's my next phase. Just seeing who the new players are going to be coming into the league and things of that nature. So seeing how teams address their needs.
So where do you think your Steelers are going to go in the draft?
I'll tell you, my gut feeling is that looking at the moves they've made so far in free agency and things of that nature, it just seems like to me they armed themselves with draft picks in an attempt to make a move. I think they want to avoid what happened last year where they had some of those inside linebacker types targeted and all of those guys got plucked off the board before their pick got here. It would not surprise me if it's going to be interesting to see what Devin White and Devin Bush go.
Okay.
There are a lot of mock drafts that have Devin White pegged as a top 5 kind of a draft pick, and then Bush as a top 10 kind of a draft pick.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about the draft always, of course, is you never know how these quarterbacks are going to play out, and you never know what quarterbacks are going to sneak into that top 10 and teams move up and down the draft board, and then what the ripple effect would be. I would say that if Devin White or Devin Bush is somewhere around that 10 pick, it wouldn't surprise me to see Pittsburgh do a package of picks and try to move up and get one of those guys.
It'll be interesting. My Cowboys, we don't have a first-round pick, although I'm not mad about Amari Cooper. And unbiased Cowboy fan, you're right. We wouldn't have been – Amari Cooper literally changed the dynamics on our Dallas Cowboys, without a doubt. Bringing him in there basically made everybody else better because defense is new. You weren't worried about anybody as far as a wide receiver on the Cowboys. But Amari Cooper could play inside. He could go outside. He literally took a lot of the focus and got that 8-man out of the box and allowed Zeke Elliott to really start eating and then taking some of the focus away from the other guys. And also, too, I won't put it all on Amari Cooper. Some of that was also the players getting used to playing with Dak Prescott in the system and stuff.
Cooper has turned out to be, at least from my perspective, I think from a lot of fans' perspective that are outside of Cowboy, not being Cowboy fans, a surprisingly good acquisition.
Oh my God!
At the time they made that acquisition, I think a lot of people thought,
you laughed.
This is more Jerry Jones nonsense. Yeah, here we go. Look at Cowboys being the Cowboys, and the guy really has paid. It's paid off. You guys have breathed new life into Amari Cooper. He was just floundering away down there in Oakland, and now he's Amari Cooper again.
Right.
So, man, imagine if Randall Cobb pays off. You guys going
see, here's the thing that's different dynamic for the Cowboys. The problem with the Cowboys has been when we had Dez Bryant, and I'm not trying to say anything about Dez, so don't do me like the homosexuals do and jump on me when I say something. Dez Bryant, they always played on the outside.
Yes.
Dez Bryant basically had 5 routes, so you knew basically because the Cowboys were so predictable. And I think 2016, they drank the Kool-Aid and said we had a great offensive line, we got a young stud quarterback, we got a great running back, all we got to do is line up and run the football. And teams figured, okay, let's punch them in the mouth. Cold Milk 72, thank you very much. We'll get your name put on there too. And teams came out, figured out how to stop them and punched them in the mouth, and the offensive line took a step back, and that's what killed us. But we were so stuck that basically Cole Beasley was in the slot, Terrence Williams on the outside, Dez was on the other side, and it was going to be 8 men in the box, stop Zeke.
Right.
Now there's so many combinations that they can do.
Yeah.
You can put Cooper inside because he was deadly in the slot. You can end up putting Randall Cobb in there. You take Randall Cobb out of the backfield. I mean, if Kellen Moore is better than Scott Linehan,
Yeah. Right.
and who knows?
Right.
What, here it
And
goes.
man, let's not forget Jason Witten. Look, I know I get it. He's old. He's slow. I get all of that. But you know what? All he does is find ways to get open
And catch the ball.
catch footballs. He's a friend of mine right here in this room. Often refers to him as a player coach, and I can see that role.
I see that with him and Sean Lee because I think part of the progression for Van Der Esch was actually having Sean. Like finally, the fire went out. It's hot.
Really
It's hot as shit in here. But I ain't gonna lie, we got the windows open. But it looks so nice with the camera and stuff because we're having the fireside chat and stuff. But I think part of the progression for Van Der Esch was the fact that Sean Lee was on the sidelines as a general in the same way Joan Looney had Travis Frederick on the sideline there. And I think the Cowboys are looking at that dynamic because tight ends literally are the difference maker. But the radio? No, I'm on this camera. That's the red one. The red one's the one that's on. Okay. The green one over here is off. See? So if I switch, now this camera is on, okay? See, look at that. So we got a Redskin fan over here trying to direct. Redskin fans are always fucking stuff up, okay? They're always backwards. So when the red light's on, that means that camera's on.
I love red.
Too bad your team's not red. They're burgundy.
And gold. You don't want to talk about colors?
That burgundy gold is some shit. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I got a cold. Huh? Of colors.
Colors.
Oh, well, you know what? We got the dump button here. Turn on the red light. You like, and that's, I tell you what, to me, so a lot of people will say that, Quinn only had 6.5 sacks last year, right? Going to Miami, new system, right? I was looking at some of the grading on him, and actually one-on-one battles, he was actually higher than DeMarcus Lawrence was. And so having him basically as the number 2, where DeMarcus Lawrence will probably get more attention than he will.
Sure.
And you can look around, and this is the thing that's always funny because this goes back to Calais Campbell. And you guys know I kept, just like I was with Earl Thomas, I was like on Calais Campbell's back. I was like, that's the guy you want to get. People are like, he only gets 7 or 8 sacks a year. And I said, you don't understand what it does. It's not necessarily the numbers that you see. It's what he does to the people around him. Because he was getting doubled and sometimes triple teamed, that means there's other guys that are now making the plays. And that's where DeMarcus Lawrence's numbers were lower this year, but you saw Randy Gregory doing better. You saw Tyrone Crawford and Woods because he's getting that attention.
And because DeMarcus will get some of that attention, Quinn's going to see more one-on-one matchups. So that should give him an uptick in his performance as well.
Jeff, thank you very much for the super chat. I can't wait actually to see, because I always call Rod Martinelli like the defensive line whisperer. The best thing that they did was actually getting Chris Richard and having him focus on the defensive line, because he took a guy like Antoine Woods who had 3 tackles in 3 years coming into Dallas. And of course, Cowboy fans, he's a bum. Thank you very much, Junebug. He's a bum. He's a nobody. Get him out of here. And he gets 35 tackles and 1.5 sacks under Rod Martinelli. So you get a Quinn, because the Dallas's defense is not, pass rush is not like one-on-one battles. They do a lot more stunning and things like that, where you'll have the tackle go out and you'll have the end go in, where it's a twist stunt here and there. And doing those mismatches and things create a lot of their sacks and stuff. So you get
That's just
wow, okay. Okay, that was like a boom on a quarterback right there. But you get him, because he's got speed. You get him on some of these twist stunts and stuff like that, it could be one hellacious combination.
I agree. Yeah, that should be fun to see.
It would be nice to get Duke for a backup. I don't think they're going to trade Duke because of the running back is going to be suspended for 8 games. I think they're going to hold on to him. So that's where you heard that whole situation quiet down on Duke Johnson being traded. Oh, we got Law Nation in the house. What's up, Law? Okay, and everybody, let me tell you guys a story here, because a lot of people don't know the whole thing about Jobu. Yes, I'm a guy who's got a voodoo doll, okay? If you've ever seen the movie Major League, understand Jobu, of course, was in the locker, fuck you, Jobu, I'll do it myself. But how it originally came across was because my friend Richard, okay? I've been blessed to have a great wife. Hopefully she heard that. Please, did you at least hear that, okay? It's always the negative stuff she hears, okay? But I remember when the Super Bowl was going to be in Dallas, Pittsburgh was going to be playing Green Bay, and you were like, man, I would literally die to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And I was like, I'd like you to go, but, I can't, you're not going to spend, a week with my wife in a hotel. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And so I got a terrible towel, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take this towel around Dallas and take pictures of it, and that's going to be Richard. But then I started thinking, wait a minute, I'm a Cowboy fan. I can't go around with just a terrible towel. So I got 2 Cowboy towels to go with it. And we just took it places, and it took on a life of their own. So it was kind of like, we got them with Mike Golick. We got them with Sean Payton.
Yes.
We got them with John Gruden and Jim Kelly and, Phil Simms. So literally, it was crazy. And so he still has his towel. I have mine. But that's how this whole thing started. And then the following year, the Super Bowl was going to be in New Orleans. So I got a little voodoo trinket. And a Eagle fan said that not even Joe Jobu could help the Dallas Cowboys. So everybody, you have Richard right here to thank for that. And I got to tell you, Richard is one of my best friends in the world and stuff. I love talking football. In fact, we talked about 4 years ago
Yes.
about actually having football conversations, because this guy knows so much about football that it's amazing. And it's like, dude, you need to get this stuff out. And if you guys encourage him to come on the show and start talking more football, so please put it in the comments, because like I said, I'm the great update guy. I get you the news as soon as it breaks and stuff like that. But I like having people who also have a different perspective, and especially having somebody, Pittsburgh Steelers, even though I hate you guys.
I don't hate the Cowboys. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, because you guys won. Okay?
Well, y'all won the most recent one, though.
Yeah, but I'm still mad about the 70s, because that's when I was growing up and stuff, man.
Yeah.
We got robbed in one of those. But Brian from SoCal, thank you very much for the super chat. But I'm hoping that I can get you to do more and more shows with us.
I look forward to it. Should be fun.
We were also talking about the NFL, and we got labor dispute coming up, guys. 2020. What are your thoughts on it? You think they're going to work out a deal?
You mean prior to a lockout? It would surprise
At
me.
any point.
Eventually, but this is a very adversarial situation. I don't really. Yeah,
It's about a whole lot of money.
the players are going to want guaranteed money, but then there's the little thing where they're going to try to take some power from Roger Goodell as well. So there's some tough things coming up in the CBA to deal with, and it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. I don't. It's difficult for me to see that somehow they get a deal done before a lockout happens or
Raymond
strike
Walker,
happens.
thank you very much for the super chat. And anybody who now he freaking calls me. Tony, I'll have to call you back. Anybody who does a super chat, what we're going to do is Joseph Hartley's actually sent me a lot of really, really cool stuff. We're going to be doing more and more drawings. I'm going to get some more shirts autographed at the autograph show this week. I won't do a drawing tonight because I'm not home, but Monday night I'll actually be home before I actually have to go out to California. So when we do our live stream on Monday night, anybody who's done a super chat the course of this month or anything will be entered into those drawings. And anybody who goes to Dak Prescott Stand Up for Cancer, do that. Please do that. Go to his thing. Do a $2, $5 donation. If you really feel like a high roller, do a $20 or $50 one for him. And we're going to go ahead and do, just for the people that have let me know that are from the show, that they've done it, we'll be doing an autographed Dak Prescott shirt that I will get autographed. In fact, I will get him on film and let him know that the winner of the people who donated to his charity, one of them will get the shirt. So I'm sure he'll be happy about that.
Very cool stuff.
Trying to look at some of the comments and stuff here. Carol, thank you very much for the super chat. So you're entered in there as well. You're in California now. Oh, yeah, Law. Well, if you're going to be there next Tuesday, I'll still be out there too. I had another point about my Dallas Cowboys, and now I can't remember what it was because I'm getting old and probably had too much rum. if D-Dog does not want to take the deal or sign the free agent tag, trade him for 4 picks. Well, here's the thing, though. For four picks, you're not getting 4 picks. I will actually say that to me, it seems like the value's gone down on a lot of these things. I mean, Khalil Mack's trade was over the top. I think, and Amari Cooper's deal was over the top. But you're starting to look at some of these players that are being traded. The veterans seem to be devalued a lot.
Yeah, they are. And listen, I mean, I get what people are saying with that type of thing, but you're not going to trade DeMarcus Lawrence. You're going to get the contract worked out. It's going to be okay. These things happen. He'll get signed and he'll be in there.
Yeah, Blake, email me at CowboysMark94 and just say, hey, I donated to Dak Prescott's thing, and just leave your name so that way I can see your Facebook profile on there. If you go to actually the site, it'll basically see everybody who's donated. If they have a Facebook profile, you'll just see their pictures. So I see like Miss Jackie on there, see Joseph Hartley on there, and everybody else. So it's a good thing, and it'll be a great way to help get Dak Prescott's attention. H Flores, thank you very much for the super chat. Felix, thank you very much for the super chat. And Miss Jackie, if you can end up. Thank you. Miss Jackie, if you can write down everybody's name for me, I appreciate it. Miss Jackie, I owe you. You know what I'm going to do for you, Miss Jackie. And I know all you guys with dirty minds, stop it. Watch Mac will regress. And you know what? That's a possibility. And that's where it's going to be interesting to see what AB does with the Raiders.
It is going to be very interesting to see. Larry Fitzgerald, I think, said it quite well prior to AB being traded, just commenting as to how AB doesn't know how good he has it. Listen, Derek Carr could return to form and play like he did. I know he took the league by storm the first couple of years. Mm-hmm. Hasn't been hurt a little bit, but hasn't been very good the last couple of years.
There's no crying in football.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens if I'm not predicting it's going to, but if AB finds himself in an offense that's not as dynamic, that he can't get as open, that the quarterback is not throwing as accurately as he's used to. It'll be interesting to see what his response is.
When you think about it, though, he had Big Ben. Whether you like Big Ben or not, Big Ben is a good quarterback, really good quarterback. Yes. Having Juju out there, Juju was taking some of that attention as well. Having Le'Veon Bell, and even when Le'Veon Bell went out, the other running back who actually played really well, Connor. Yes. Right. So you had many pieces that are also taking some of that focus off of him.
Yes.
You don't have that right now.
You don't have that. You are the guy. And then another thing I think that's getting a little bit missed here is, of course, Ben is very, even to this day, he's very good at extending plays. Okay? And then they get into kind of a pitch and catch thing, right? They have a drill. They know what they're going to do when they're ad-libbing backyard football a little bit sometimes when Ben is extending plays. How's that going to translate to the Raiders? Carr is not known that much for extending plays. So when plays break down there, it's not going to unfold the same way it did when it would break down and Ben had the ball. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out.
That and John Gruden's playbook is still like 20 years old. So that's going to be interesting too there, if he actually gets it into the digital age or not. But Big Ben, how much longer do you think he's going to play? And when do you guys start looking at trying to find the next guy?
Well, I give Big Ben, I'm going to say maybe. He's about to sign a new contract. I'll give him 2 years. Mm-hmm. Realistically. I'll give him 2 years realistically. As far as finding the other guy, we don't know. He may be on the roster. He may not be. I know they really like Mason Rudolph a lot. So we just have to see what develops, and we'll see what happens, man. Who knows?
Amen, Queen. I'm sorry. Queen Supreme. Prayers for Michael Irvin for the biopsy that he had on throat cancer. His father actually, believe it or not, died when he was 51 years old from throat cancer too, and that's part of the reason why. I did not know. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why he's panicking too, because apparently he's lost his voice a couple times over the last 6 months of things, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse, and that's where he went in to get checked. And we haven't heard anything since the initial thing early part of the week. So,
major prayers out to Michael Irvin. As you know, cancer is very sensitive to me and things that would.
Yeah, and that's where I keep telling everybody about getting your colonoscopy. You're 51.
Yes.
You had yours?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just had another.
I'm due for a second one.
Okay,
yes.
I literally woke up in the recovery room, grabbed my phone, and shot a video. Okay, I am famous for doing a video almost every week. No, seriously. But the good thing about it was it actually had a bunch of people go through, and one person ended up finding out that they had a lot of polyps, and they had said that they were scared to go ahead and go, but they said since I went, they were going to go too. So don't play around, because cancer is treatable if you catch it early enough. So don't play around, and that's really, really important.
Absolutely.
All right, so you are outside of the Dallas Cowboy Nation, and my channel is known as the Dak Friendly channel because, well, I'll be honest, I've always liked Dak from the first time I saw him in the Senior Bowl. He didn't, to me, when you looked at his numbers, when you looked at him playing with Carson Wentz in the Senior Bowl, he actually played better, but everybody was always talking about Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz, I don't think is as good as everybody thinks he is, but then again, I may be biased. What are your thoughts on Dak Prescott?
I mean, I like Dak Prescott. Look, it's hard to play quarterback in the NFL. It's hard to find Tom Brady's and Peyton Manning's and things like that. Is he those guys? No. But he is better than the majority of quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, if you don't have him, who are you going to have?
I always say that. Because,
So-
you can't go to Walmart and just pick up a quarterback.
Exactly.
Here, I can ask my man over here with the Redskins,
Exactly.
quarterbacks. Where do you find quarterbacks at?
You really want to ask the Redskins where we go? Just go and tell you, have your conversation.
Don't you want to join us, man?
No,
we're
not
all-
on a quarterback conversation, no.
Well, I just want my Cowboy people to understand. Okay, I'm going to ask you this. Would you take Dak Prescott? Honestly, no, don't. I mean, no bullshit
As
aside.
a Redskin quarterback, would I take Dak
You know,
Prescott?
it would be the end of his career, of course. But would you want to have him as your quarterback?
I'd have him over most of the people in the NFL right now, yes.
There you go.
No question.
And that okay.
And I'm going to tell you something interesting about Dak Prescott, by the way. We have one of the guys here. His name is Jamie, also a diehard Cowboys fan. I'll never forget the draft that Prescott came out in.
Yeah.
As far back as the Combine, this guy has been predicting Dak Prescott to the Cowboys that whole offseason.
He must have been following the Joe Jobu Sports Report.
And it happened. And it happened. So
Look, we were at the draft with a sign, draft Dak. Okay. and in fact, here's what's even crazier because for Michael's birthday, my son's birthday is actually June 21st. Mike Mosh, who sells jerseys and stuff, I've been getting jerseys from him since probably like 2010. I called him up. I said, I want a Dak Prescott jersey. He said, what? The third string quarterback? I said, yeah, I want to get a Dak Prescott jersey for my son. He's like, no, you don't want one of those. He's never going to see the field. I said, man, I want a Dak Prescott jersey.
Right.
And so I got it before Tony Romo got hurt, before Kellen Moore got hurt and everything else. And said, Mike, here's your Dak Prescott jersey.
Nice.
And everybody still said, you're whack. So, but, you know, and here's how crazy it was. I had to get custom made because you couldn't get one of those jerseys now. Yeah, but as far as our Cowboys go, and we've got so many fans out there that are saying the Dallas Cowboys are just being cheap with DeMarcus Lawrence. Understand, the Cowboys are a victim of success because they have drafted so many young guys that are now at that fourth, fifth year that you need to lock them down. You've got a lot of them that you need to lock down. Most teams don't have this kind of a problem where you've got guys that are young, that are Pro Bowls. The fact that our rookie class last year, this is crazy, had over 3,600 snaps in one season, the first season. To give you the flip side of that, our 2009 draft, altogether combined, had less than 3,200 in their career.
That's impressive information, man.
I mean, you're talking about the 2009 draft, within 4 years, not a single one of those guys was still in the NFL.
Wow.
And see, that in lies the problem, and that's why the Giants have issues. That's why the Redskins keep having to go through and get all kinds of free agents, is because they're not drafting players. They have so many holes and needs that they've got to go out there. If you can get your players homegrown, and the Steelers are usually good at finding those guys that nobody else does as well.
Aside from the Bell and Brown saga, that's really our wheelhouse. Is we draft our guys and we keep our guys instead of signing big free agents.
I mean, AB was a 6th-round draft pick, wasn't he?
AB was a 6th-round draft pick.
Right.
Yes.
So you think about that. And that's where guys are saying, oh, well, he's a late round draft pick, he's a bum. But that's where a lot of players are really found. A lot of times guys are anointed as the guy and they come out and they do absolutely nothing. I'd rather have a guy who has to fight and is hungry. And that's why I like what the Cowboys are doing with the free agents that are on a 1-year deal. Yeah. As Doc Walker says, Doc Walker, former Washington Redskin, will put it, it's hard to be hungry when your refrigerator's full. And so when you get a guy like Landon Collins and you pay him $84 million, what's the incentive to go out and kill myself? Yeah. Yeah. But if I'm on a 1-year deal and I know I want to get paid or I want to have a job next year, I got to prove myself, especially after having a down year. So now you got guys that are hungry, that are clawing and scratching, that are trying to get in there and play well. And if you were the Steelers GM and you were looking at this team, what would be the moves that you would make to try and make it better?
You mean Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh, your team.
Well,
we're mixing this up here. I know this. I know the Cowboys last year. It's good to understand the competition and things and other teams as well.
I got you. I mean, look, man, I really, and this is almost blasphemy as a Steelers fan, but I really wanted us to get C.J. Mosley in free agency. I mean, I wanted the Steelers to set out C.J. Mosley and don't worry about any other free agents. I was really on Mosley that much. But, it worked out what they did. They had Mark Barron fall into their laps, almost Joe Hayden-esque in the Joe Hayden type of way. But so with all that said and done, and with everything what they've done so far, really the scenario that I told you, I kind of suspect Pittsburgh may be going in the draft at this point. I hope that's what they do. I think that they need to find a way to get Devin White and Devin Bush on their team.
Yeah.
That needs to be their mission in this draft, to get one of those guys on the team.
Well, you got a lot of people that are kind of like, it's time to move on from Mike Tomlin. What do you think on that one?
Oh, that's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's like quarterbacks, good head coaches
are hard to find.
So, it's hard to win games in the NFL. And you're not going to the playoffs every year, I guess, unless you're the New England Patriots.
But we talked about that though. But
when you're playing a division where nobody else can play.
Nobody else has a chance. You got 6 wins, right? Listen, this is what's crazy because we've been talking football and driving the women crazy. But think about this. Pretty much, New England is going to be guaranteed at least 5 wins in their division, right? At least 5. They usually lose maybe 1 to Miami from time to time, but pretty much they've got 5 wins.
They tend to split with Miami, but other than that,
so all they have to do is go 500 out of the division. They got 10 wins.
Yeah.
And if you can't go,
they have an easy. New England consistently has an easy path to a bye week because they play in a very sorry division. Which
makes it, and if you're playing in New England where it's cold, you've got an advantage there, especially since you've got the officials in your back pocket. I mean, I'm still pissed off about that unnecessary roughness of the quarterback where he literally got swept like this. I'm just like, you got to be.
I'm not even going to get started on the things that the Patriots get away with. That's our entire show.
You see guys like Cam Newton and Dak and all this stuff that are getting lit up and not getting any calls, and Tom Brady. And that's why I say Tom Brady will be able to play for another 2-3 years because he's never getting touched.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. But, you gotta play the way you got to play. Boy. It's still. I'm so sick and tired of New England. I'm hoping.
Man, I'm trying to be good. We could dedicate a show to New England one sometime.
Just New England hate, that is.
Yeah, New England hate.
I just hate New England. I'm just tired of New England. I just want to see just anybody other than New England.
Yeah.
Now, what always happens every year is, of course, the talking heads will pick all the teams that were playoff teams except the Cowboys. And we'll basically say they're going to be playoff teams next year. What teams do you think are going to be teams that are going to come out of nowhere and play well? Chicago, a lot of people didn't think were going to do what they did. People were expecting the Giants to play better because they had gotten Barkley and things. Of course, Eli Manning, the 2-time Super Bowl MVP, and that you had, of course, Odell coming back. So everybody thought the Giants were going to play better. They thought the Eagles were going to be great because they won the Super Bowl. Everybody thought Minnesota was going to be great because they got Kirk Cousins, and people thought the Redskins were going to be better because they had Alex Smith. those teams all kind of fell on their face. So what teams do you think are going to step out?
Come out of nowhere?
Come out of nowhere that you don't expect to make the playoffs. I mean, okay. Well, you can take the AFC teams that you think are going to be dark horses. Everybody right now is on Cleveland Browns. That they're already ready to give them the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's the dream team all over again.
They're on Cleveland hard. Oh man, I got to think about that. Come out of nowhere.
You guys always have a hard time. I mean, Baltimore, you guys are a great rivalry. I mean, that is always almost the marquee game.
Here's one thing with Baltimore. They lost a lot this offseason.
Lamar Jackson.
Lost a lot.
I can't believe they're going with Lamar Jackson. Yeah. I mean, that's basically we're just going to be a running team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team they field this year because they lost a lot of defensive starters. This is this new GM's first year running the show, and they're trusting this offense in Lamar Jackson, who is very questionable to me. So, come out of nowhere. It's a hard one because I don't know there is. Obviously Cleveland won't come out of nowhere, but I do think they're going to be a good team.
They'll be better. I mean, they'll be better than they were, but I don't know that they'll be a playoff team. I just don't.
Yeah, I agree.
We know nobody from the AFC East is going to. I mean, we know
Miami
Miami is basically
and when I'm looking at the other
themselves.
divisions, really, I'm just seeing the usual suspects. I mean, we know the Texans will probably be good. I like the Colts. The Titans are mediocre. I don't like Jacksonville. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? So it's really almost going to be
how about the
similar
Raiders? Well, John Gruden turned them around with all this firepower he's got now and all these draft picks.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know. No, I don't see it.
The Chargers, it's funny. The Chargers, nobody really thinks about the Chargers, but they were a playoff team. Their coach has actually done a lights-out job with it, but it's been really, really quiet. Nobody thinks about them.
The Chargers could win this division.
The Chargers, I think, definitely could.
And especially with the problems that's going on in Kansas City now with Tyreek Hill. Understand that they lost Kareem Hunt out of that offense last year, and then they may follow that up with the Tyreek Hill situation. And I'm going to tell you,
that hurts. That is a lot of offensive firepower. Yeah. And that's where you also start looking around because we realize after losing Zeke Elliott how important the running back is. And you can look at how Philadelphia took a step back, I think, because of the running back situation. Everybody got hurt. And they're still, they just made the move for the Bears running back, which will help. But I don't think he's quite as dynamic as some of the players that they've had. But you can even say Jared Goff, once Gurley was not playing the amount of time he was playing as well, his numbers went down. So that running back situation may be key, and you may have something there on Kansas City. But Pat Mahomes, that dude, he's the real deal.
Patrick Mahomes is
that was incredible.
Yeah. I did not want to buy the hype, but that guy is playing. I mean, he plays really good. He's scary.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is scary.
He's playing 3D chess while everybody else is playing checkers.
It'll be interesting to see how good he is if he does not have Tyreek Hill. We've already kind of seen him a little bit without Kareem Hunt now. But it'll be interesting to see what happens if Tyreek Hill, if that impacts that offense.
Well, guys, for me, in looking at the NFC East, the Redskins and the Eagles, the Redskins and the Giants are going to be in the basement. It's a two-horse race right there, and you can see the Eagles have been quietly, the fact that the Eagles are able to sign the people that they were when they were in cap hell. Getting rid of Nick Foles, but they've gone through restructures of contracts. They got rid of Michael Bennett and things, and they brought in some solid people on the team.
Look at that quarterback thing. That was just terrible.
And see, they're screwed because they still owe Alex Smith.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing that can happen to them at this point is they draft a quarterback and all of a sudden he Patrick Mahomes is or something. But barring that, man, it's going to be a rough ride.
Would you like to chime in on your Redskins?
Huh?
Would you like to chime in on your Redskins?
Not on your show publicly. No.
No, this
privately, yes.
Privately.
Yes. We've had our private conversation last night. And you can post that.
Breaking news update. What news? Good news, Crunk? Okay, Crunk, you got something that just broke? Cowboys Crunk is actually in Afghanistan right now helping to keep us all safe, so shout out to you. And it's really, really late, so I think it's 5 hours ahead?
Yeah, it's 6 hours ahead.
Or 6 hours ahead, yeah. So what are you doing still up, man? Yes, draft info. Okay, well, don't keep it to yourself, my man. Let me give everybody a shout out who's tuned into the show tonight. I know this is not our typical one. I'm not in my man cave and stuff. I'm actually having vacation with some of the greatest guys that you will ever imagine. The other ones are all a little shy to be on camera and stuff. And, well, I can understand two of them being that they're Redskin fans that I wouldn't want to be seen either. I offered them a bag over their head, but they said they wouldn't even take that one. But look, we kid because we love.
Off of my Redskins commentary from y'all last night. Off of that.
Once I learn how to use a bleeper, I'll go ahead and post that video because it was hilarious. But I can't put that content out there. I already have the other channel shut down. I don't want to get this one shut down as well.
That had to be an HBO special or something.
Yeah.
Well, Jason Garrett, I'm not in my regular studio, so I don't have everything hooked up where I can actually get you in there. So we'll do that on Monday night. How about that? And Cowboys Crunk is probably saying he's going to probably post that. Cowboys Crunk is probably going to do a video after I'm done to go ahead and post this news, which is cool.
From Afghanistan?
Wait, I got a troll in here? A fake Cowboy Jobu? What the hell?
From Afghanistan. I love
There's
that
a fake Cowboy.
Yeah, he's got my profile picture. It says Cowboy Jobu, and I'm not typing anything.
Wow.
You
Well-
well, knowing yourself?
Well, that's better than Booty Hole Guy we used to have. Okay. Yes, we had a guy who was always talking about my booty hole. Okay. Yes, it takes all kinds to make the world go around. And what I'll do is Miss Jackie's actually taking everybody's name who wants to get their name put onto the shirt. Again, take a look at the shirt here, guys. It has been to Louisiana. It's been to Dallas. It's been to San Antonio. It's been to Tombstone. And Tombstone. Okay. And yeah, and
Arizona.
Joseph, I'm waiting for the videos, man, and the pictures with Doc Holliday and everything else, and OK Corral. Yeah. I got your channel back for you. Okay. Sure you did, Cowboy Jobu. Okay. So you got control of it. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, you got a fake one. Fake Jobu. Yeah. But Miss Jackie, thank you very much for doing it.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, we'll watch out for Richie Normus. Yeah, I've got all kinds because they have this one. What I do normally is I have an echo that when somebody does a super chat, I'll say their name with the echo. And so we have Dickie Normus. And he kept doing super chats over and over. It was a while before I caught on to it. So, yeah. So we call him now Richard Normus.
Wow.
It's Friday. Pour Jobu a drink. No, we're going to keep him sober so that way he can focus until the season gets here. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show, The Fight. So everybody, tell Richard how much you enjoyed having him on here so that way we can make this a regular thing. Hint, hint. Trying to get to some of these questions from you guys in here. I need to wear glasses so I can actually read them. Sean Lee on Instagram.
I saw what you did.
Fake Jobu. I see a whole bunch of ones deleted. Booty hole guy. Okay. Booty hole guy must have been a Redskin fan. Okay.
Oh, shit.
We want Tannehill back. Okay.
Tannehill?
Oh, we've had Cowboy fans that said that they would rather have Ryan Tannehill than Dak
Are you
Prescott.
serious? They
Did
can't.
that?
Yes.
That's not being serious.
They
That's
ain't
not,
real,
No,
they
seriously.
ain't real Cowboys.
yeah, that's not being serious. Ryan Tannehill.
Everybody in the
Dak
NFC East
Prescott.
has a good running back. Did I forget about guys? No, I didn't forget about him, but the rest of the team sucks. Richard seems like a fun guy to hang with. Richard is fantastic, and I got to tell you, can't wait till he does his barbecue because he can cook, he can throw down. And his wife's macaroni and cheese. Oh man,
I'm sure you can see that.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie. Yeah, I'm going to tell Dak you got to put on the shirt. Yeah, okay. It's good luck with that one. If he decides that, hey, I'm going to put it on, then that's great. But there's usually a long line of people to autograph the shirt and stuff. But one thing I will say is he's actually been very, very friendly. You get some players that when you go to the autograph signings, like Deion Sanders, I'm throwing him under the bus, that won't even raise their head. They're signing and no pictures. But Dak has always been really, really cool, as well as like guys like Sean Lee Was that your phone?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all good. It ain't cool.
Damn, Redskin fans are always fucking shit up. So I'm sorry, excuse my language. You got timed out for making Cleveland Brown jokes? Okay. Well, Richard, you got anything you want to add before we get ready to get out of here?
Not really. It was fun. It's my first time doing anything like this, so I hope it came across okay for me. But 6.
6.
I don't know if he's talking about trophies or something else, because we do have 6 trophies.
Yeah, they have 6. We have 5, but we're going for 6. How many Redskins have over there?
3, 4. Actually 4.
4. How you got 4?
We ain't counting the NFC Championship on Super Bowl. We counting the other one before that, and that's 4.
Have you been hanging out with the Eagle fans? Because they used to count their world championships when there was only 10 teams. But the funny thing about, I used to always get the Eagle fans, they would say, yeah, we got 3 world championships.
Yes.
And I said, it's like, that the Cleveland Browns had 9, and the Detroit Lions had 6.
Yeah.
So why you only have 3?
Back when Dick LeBeau was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a 6 though. They earned it.
Okay, so Cowboys Crunk, your info on draft news is from Dan Berger concerning Jalen Hurd. Berger mentioned me a nugget. Okay, and we'll go live after the show. Shameless plug, but way to go. Okay, we'll definitely check you out. I'm looking good in the blue. Of course, true blue, man. And don't start saying anything about blue and gray. I know how that red. Yeah, we know. Yeah. As you can tell, we've had a lot of fun here since we got here yesterday. Richard, you were great. The tone was calming, making everything you say, making me believe everything you say. Okay. Now, if we could just get that to work on our wives. Great.
Right.
Mark, I have feathers.
Y'all need to have me sitting there next to y'all for a show.
I tell you what, the time always flies by because it's like, damn, it's been an hour already. And it's because I've got all you great fans out there, and I really, really enjoy this. Didn't really have a whole lot planned for the show because we've been, taking care of family business and having a few drinks, quite a few drinks, and just kind of relaxing a bit. But appreciate everybody coming in. Hopefully the Cowboys can get DeMarcus Lawrence and stuff squared away. I don't think they're done in free agency. I think they're still looking for a running back because I think ultimately what the Cowboys want to do, and I think it's actually a good plan, is have all of the holes plugged where they say we have somebody capable and go into the draft where we just take the best player available.
Wouldn't surprise me if they grab a running back on day 3 in the draft, though.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, if we can get a scat back or a third down back or somebody who can catch out the backfield would be fantastic. I'm worried about signing Zeke for a long term because when you look at Todd Gurley right now having hip issues. Sorry, not hip issues. God, what is it? Knee. Yeah, arthritis in the knee. I'm thinking arthritis in the hip because I got arthritis in the hip. But having those issues after just getting signed that big contract the year before, you start worrying about it. So, with that being said, I'm going to give you the final words for the night.
You're going to give me the inexperienced guy.
That's right, man.
I don't even know what to say. The draft is coming up next, and go football. I don't know what to say about it.
And get the dominoes warmed up.
Yeah, they're waiting for me to play dominoes.
There you
I'm
go.
getting back to that now.
And with that being said, as always, guys, Sunday, don't forget to tune in because we will be going to the autograph signing and stuff. Miss Jackie is going to give me a list of everybody's name that we want to put on the shirt, so I'll get those put on. And Monday night, I'll be back in the man cave to do my usual show. As always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing.
Thanks,
and
guys.
now it's time to turn off the lights because this party's over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing.